Sup my dudes, Valk here, and today I wasn't going to record, but the devs actually changed Mugetsu and they made it easier to actually activate. Now I'm going to showcase that today. I'm going to see how long it takes really is what we're going to do. Also, there's a new code that I just put in. If you saw, it's this code right here. Sorry for quest bug. New code. So yeah, there's that for you guys. You get some puzzles, you get all that because the quest was bugged out, so it was pretty rough. And now let me swap it around because I need somewhat of an actual team. Not really. We're going to basically make a team really quickly, and I'm going to do what I think is the most optimal way to go ahead and grind out Mugetsu. Because the screenshot I was shown, Mugetsu's new requirement is 50 billion damage and 3 stages cleared. And also Mugetsu, I've had some clarity. Somebody explained to me how it works a little bit better, so now I know exactly how Mugetsu works. I'm going to showcase that for you guys today. So we need to make a frantic warrior team. A frantic warrior. Let's see. A, B, C, D, E, F. Blah, 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 blah. I am really old and I still have to count like that. Okay, so... let's go ahead. Let's bring out awtd. Awtd is going to be really good right here. We're going to go ahead and swap you out for... I guess we can bring King of Knights. Nah, we don't need that. I think that'll be it, yeah. So next up, we're just going to run supports, regular old supports. Let's go ahead. Let's do Dark Flame Lover. And then we're going to swap out Peace Symbol for Dennis. Okay. So now that that is done, basically, let me showcase that I don't have any damage on him. Let me showcase that. Well, I have 2 million damage, which is really nothing. But you have to get 3 stages cleared and 50 billion damage. So now I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys are going to see it all fast forwarded. Hopefully you guys like the background music because that's going to be 90% of the video. But I want to show you guys exactly what I do, so I don't want to skip anything. So yeah. Anyways, let's get to it. Alright, now while I'm in the middle of my damage farm really quickly, that's all I'm doing right now. I'm going to fast forward it again here in a second. But before I do that, I wanted to showcase to you guys really quickly exactly how this works, or how Mugetsu works. Destroy this unit and deal damage statistic, deal damage statistic to all enemies and reset the damage statistic. Requires 3 clear stage static and 50 billion deal damage statistic. So what this means is his nuke, it deals as much damage as he's ever dealt and fully resets it. So you guys know how you have like 17 trillion damage on like Gilgamesh or whatever? That's how much damage Mugetsu does. If you used it, if you had like 17 trillion damage, total damage ever dealt on Mugetsu, it will do 17 trillion damage, but then it's going to reset it to 0. As you guys will see whenever I showcase it in a bit later, after I do my damage run here, you guys will get to see then. But yeah, that's basically how it works. Anyways, back to fast forward. All right, we've done a good bit of grinding. This has been about, let me see my little timer, roughly 25 minutes, I want to say. 25 minutes of grinding. Let's see where we're at damage-wise. 43.88 billion, clear 3 stage. So it takes around 30 minutes of grinding, roughly, to be able to press the button once. let me go ahead, do one last damage run. Whenever he hits 7 billion damage, I'll be able to hit Mugetsu, and you guys can see afterwards the aftermath of hitting it. If you want to actually use Mugetsu and use him as like your main unit and get that nuke ready to go, I think this is perfectly fine. I think it's a fine requirement because you're not going to be nuking every stage. But if you really like Ichigo and you really want to use this a whole bunch, you'll probably never feel the actual requirement until you go to actually use Mugetsu in stages and you'll realize, well then, I can't press the funny button unless I go and run a bunch of stuff. So it's about 30 minutes of optimized grinding. Well, not optimized. I definitely could have made this team a little bit better thinking about it. But 30 minutes of grinding to be able to hit the button once, I think is... it's not... I don't like it, but it's better, right? Like, I don't like it at all, but I think it's better than what it was. I think 3 hours to hit the button was a little egregious. By a little, I mean a lot of egregious. I mean like incredibly egregious. Like, Jesus, what were they thinking? Now it's 30 minutes to hit the button once. I think that's way better. I just don't like the idea of having to grind up a button on a character whenever you already have to grind the character, right? But I get it. I guess they want to make him usable. If he has this like caveat to him, then he should be legal inside of Abyss. But if they actually remove the caveat, then he's not going to be usable in Abyss. So if you're really struggling with an Abyss stage, you could just bring out Ichigo to nuke it. You could just go grind up, spend your 30 minutes, grind up, and then go knock out the Abyss stage using Ichigo. And that's where I kind of see his value lying now. And the fact that this is kind of, he's like, if you're struggling with the stage, this is your answer, right? Like, this is what you would do, is you just pick Ichigo and you go nuke it. Like, that's kind of exactly what he's for in my imagining now. Just why you would use him, essentially. Why you would use him over other characters is if you're struggling, you're having a bad time, stage is giving you trouble, go nuke it with Ichigo. Go nuke it and you'll be good to go. You'll be A-okay. He'll go ahead and he'll just blast whatever it is. And if you're struggling on the next stage, spend 30 minutes, grind up his damage, grind up his clear stages, grind up Mugetsu, and do it again. And that's basically it. That's exactly kind of how he's used now, I think, right? I think that's kind of where he's going to shine. That and leaderboard runs. I can see people grinding up his damage to an insane degree for leaderboard runs to try to get that as high as possible. But outside of that, outside of those two situations, he's very niche, right? I do like the buff, like I said. I do like that they made it easier and made it more accessible. So now it's much, much easier to go ahead and actually reach Mugetsu. But it still doesn't feel good to grind this long to be able to press a button once. Which you guys will see the second I hit 7 billion damage, or whenever they start stacking up. We're going to go ahead, drop Mugetsu on him, and check out our damage afterwards. Because I want to drop Mugetsu, basically, then die. I want to see what his damage is after, and I want to see it, basically. I want to see everything. See exactly where we're at. And see if it does truly wipe everything entirely, basically. It should wipe everything entirely. Everything should get wiped. So you have to grind every single time you want to press it. But, like I said, it doesn't really require anything in the stage itself to actually activate. So if you're struggling with something, you could absolutely use Mugetsu and spend 30 minutes, grind it up, and then go blast it. But that's basically it. Now, outside of Mugetsu itself, I do believe he's a solid unit. He can reach up to a 2-point-something million attack stat without Peace Medal or Peace Symbol on like regular stages. Not on infinites, but on regular stages, he can reach like 2-point-something million attack stat. Like that. He can do something like that on a regular stage and do really, really good with that. But yeah, I think that's solid having that attack stat plus decay. That's really good in my opinion. Decay is a really, really rare passive. Not a lot of enemies that are not enemies. Not a lot of units actually get it. But I think he's solid with just not counting Mugetsu, and with Mugetsu being the nuke with infinite damage. This is going to break leaderboard, by the way. I'm just going to let you know. Like, people who chase leaderboard, this is going to break it. 100%. Mugetsu is going to break leaderboard. So if you want to run leaderboard, you need Ichigo. No ifs, ands, or buts. One person needs to have Ichigo with an insane amount of damage grinded on it, like trillions of damage, and you're going to just go and blast that. But this is absolutely a leaderboard button. If you don't care about leaderboard, you're probably never going to press this. I'm going to be real. You're going to use it exactly like I just said, where you're just going to use it just to clear stages. If you're struggling with the stage, you pop Mugetsu and just explode it, because there's no damage requirement to actually use it inside the stage. You got to meet the entire requirement, the sacrifice requirement. So that's the only requirement you really have to meet. There's no other requirement, so you can use it whenever you want. You could literally start the stage frame 1 and pop it if you really feel like it. Well, provided you could max out Ichigo frame 1, you know. But you get the idea. Like, that's really the only use for it for most people. Most people are mostly just going to use it just to, like, let's say you're struggling with a story stage. Somehow you're doing story still, and you have Dangai Ichigo. Let's say you're struggling with the story stage. Then, yeah, you're going to press the button, nuke the boss, and GG easy. And that's kind of exactly all it's going to be used for most people. Other than that, leaderboard. All in all, I do like it. I like the change a lot more. Like, I'm very soured after grinding this Ichigo so many times. I think I've spent in total probably like 9 to 10 hours on just this Ichigo, just grinding up damage. I think only like 4 hours of it was grinding the actual copy. The rest is just grinding random stuff to press the funny button and do testing. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this Ichigo. The doggo behind me really wants to play right now. He's gonna have to wait his turn. Alright, so now I think we're fully maxed out. We're just waiting to hit that 7 billion damage stat. Once we hit 7 billion damage, I'll go ahead and pop Mugetsu. So let's just pay attention here. Normally, before I was kicking my feet up, wiggling my little toesies on my desk, playing on my phone, having a good little time. Now I'm just waiting to go ahead and reach 7 billion damage. Once I reach 7 billion damage, or once they're basically to the end, I'm going to pop Mugetsu, and then I'm going to let them crash and just see exactly where we're at as far as everything else goes. So yeah, there's no real flexing damage on Ichigo. There's no way to really do that because of what he requires. He requires you to basically wipe your damage anytime you hit Mugetsu. So all you're showing me whenever you flex your damage on Ichigo is that you just haven't hit Mugetsu in forever. So, like I said, I like the change a lot more. Like, the more I think about it, the more the applications it has, because it's a frame 1 nuke, because you can use it instantly. I like it. I do like it. And it takes about 30 minutes to actually charge up to basically one-shot a stage, one-shot a story stage, whatever. So, like I said, if you're really struggling, just go grind this guy's damage. Grind his damage. Do some stage clears, and then, yeah, you'll be good to go. I do wish, though, that they did remove the stage clear one. That would make it a little bit easier, but I'm going to be real. Most of your time is just going to be grinding out the 50 billion damage minimum that you need to actually press the button. That's going to be the majority of your time, is grinding out the 50 billion damage. But, yeah, here we're at 6 bill. We're almost to the promised land. Almost there. Soon we'll reach 7 bill, and they're going to be getting ready to go ahead and hit the base soon. And whenever they're getting ready to go hit, we can basically pop it then. So let's grab this. Let's grab this. All right. So now I'm ready to pop Mugetsu whenever I feel like it. Whenever I feel like pressing the funny button, I will. I'm just going to let him push in a little bit further. Go ahead and grab attack up. Love me some attack up. So let's go ahead. Let's hit Mugetsu. Nice. Get a Mugetsu. Alright. So, now that's done. He did 2.58 million before he got deleted, I guess? I don't know. Anyways, now we're just going to wait on them to crash. Now that they crash, let's go ahead. Let's go to the lobby. Let's check him out. He should be completely wiped with 0 clears, 0 damage dealt, etc. Everything should be fully wiped now. And that's kind of how he works. Like I said, I think it's better. I think it's, the more I think about it, the more I see the applications of it. And the more I'm like, this is actually pretty good. I think it's actually pretty solid. Much better than before. Still just very situational. It's not a nuke you're going to use every single time, which is kind of what I was peeved about at first. But the more I think about it, the fact that it's a non-conditional nuke, you just have to max him out. I think he's going to be really good for people who are struggling through stages. And this also keeps him Abyss legal, because if you had to spend 30 minutes grinding up one character, you're not like, can you imagine? That's like 1,500 minutes to run through Abyss to grind up Mugetsu and nuke every single floor. Yeah, that's not really feasible. But the regular Mugetsu absolutely is. I think that's not perfectly fine. So let's go ahead. Let's check him out now. Should be 0. Oh, he's at 4 billion from the actual nuke. Wait. So if you actually hit... Oh. That is 4 billion from the nuke, right? Probably. So if you hit the nuke, right? If you hit his nuke and you do 50 billion damage from the nuke, you could just loop it. You don't have to do that grind over again. You only have to clear the 3 stages. I like it. I like it. I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's perfectly fine if that's the way it works. I think that's good. Because then it incentivizes you to use it in situations where you're going to get high value out of it. And not low value, so you want to try to do 50 billion damage in one nuke, and at the same time you still have to go and clear the stages. You have to clear 3 stages each time, but if you do farm up a ton of clear stages, you do use it in situations where you're going to want to try to, where it incentivizes you to do as much damage as possible. You could do it run after run after run. Okay, no, I like this. At first I wasn't sold, but now that I know that Mugetsu itself counts towards the damage, the deal damage statistic, I like it a lot. I think this fixes him. I think it's perfectly fine now. He's exactly what he should be. He's a leaderboard run. You'll have to grind it up initially. 30 minutes is to grind up the initial one, and as long as you keep it at high value Mugetsus, you don't just shotgun it because you want to shotgun it. You keep it in situations where you can do at least 50 billion damage with Mugetsu itself. Yeah, you'll be golden. You'll be solid. You'll be good to go because it's going to self-fund itself for the next use, essentially. Anyways, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.